news! Do not buy Samsung televisions. They break after 2 years. What's this? A manual? So in all seriousness, this is a public service announcement. If you are looking into buying a new TV, definitely look at the reviews on Samsung, because what I've been seeing and what happened to a dear friend of mine is his TV died at exactly the 2-year mark of when he bought it. So watch out for that degenerative engineering, because they're trying to make stuff last less so that you buy more. So on to the rest of the video. Hey guys, big ol' welcome back to the channel. We're back here today with the 84 Corvette. You can see it hasn't moved in a while. It's got a nice little pile of leaves there. So we're gonna be trying to get that to move today. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna replace the PCV valve. We're gonna take the valve cover gaskets off, and we're gonna clean it up under there. Basically, I saw that some of those ports that return the oil back to the middle of the engine get clogged up, and that could be causing a smoke. So we're gonna do those two things. We're also gonna replace the idle air control valves to get that to idle normal again. And at the end of it, we're gonna be topping it off with some transmission fluid to see if we can get it to shift. Because basically, where we're at is if it doesn't shift and the transmission's got issues, we're gonna be looking at getting rid of it. But otherwise, if the transmission does shift, we'll be pulling the motor out. So let's see what we've got. All right, so first things first, we're gonna have to pull off all the intake stuff here. So let's get rid of it. All right guys, so we got the intake stuff off. Now we're gonna do these idle air control valves to get the idle to idle correctly. We got 2 of them on this car. It's lovely, but we got one here and one here, so we're gonna replace those 2 now. Alright guys, so that's the new sensor going in, obviously, and this is the old one coming out. It was having idling issues, so once we have these sensors replaced, it should fix our idling problem. Alright guys, so those idle air control valves are in. Next thing we're going to do is pull out this PCV valve. I'm gonna replace that, and while we have all this stuff apart, we're gonna be taking off these valve covers and cleaning up the rocker area. So this is the old one, not too bad, but we got a new one here, and this one's much better. So if this one's blocked, the old one, maybe that could stop the smoking too. Basically, we're just trying to do some small things before we pull the motor out to see if any of these small things are why it's smoking. So now that's done, we're gonna pull these valve covers off and get them cleaned up. Alright guys, so we have the first valve cover off on the driver's side, and this is what we're looking at here. Could definitely use a good cleaning. There's like random junk in there. So I mean, this could definitely be a problem. All this crap is just in there. So we're gonna at least try to clean this top end up a little bit and see if maybe that gets rid of our smoke. Probably not, but like I said, we're gonna try some smaller things before we go ahead and pull this motor out, if that's what we're gonna end up doing. So we'll clean this side up and then we'll move to the other side. Alright guys, so we cleaned it up a bit. As you saw, there was quite a bit of gunk in there, like that stuff that I pulled out. I don't really know what that's from. Another question for you. So, you got these holes up here on the top. I'm assuming that's some sort of oil return, but they look kind of like misshapen. Like that one should look like a square, but it's broken apart, and this one's all jagged. So drop it in the comments below. Are they supposed to look like that? What is their function? I feel like some of the pieces that I was pulling out was from them, because like obviously that one's got some chips out of it. So let me know what you think about what's going on here. Alright, so the driver's side is all buttoned back up. We cleaned it up a little bit. I don't really think it's going to make that much of a difference, but we're going to go over to the passenger side now and clean up that one. Isn't that right, Olivia? Alright guys, so this is what we've got on the other side. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look like there's as much debris in this side as there was on the other side. But we're still going to give it a little bit of a cleaning. Those holes look a little bit better on this side too. Some of them still have chips out of them, like that one. Alright guys, so we got this cleaned up decently well. There really wasn't as much debris on this side as there was the other side. These return holes over here aren't blocked, so probably won't do anything, but it was worth a shot. Alright guys, so we got our intake stuff back on. Everything's buttoned back up, cleaned off. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to check our transmission fluid. We got our dipstick back here. We're going to add some transmission fluid in. If it's low, see if it shifts. If it doesn't shift, it might be the transmission shift solenoid, but we're going to find that out. Before you say anything, she wanted to be on that tire. She's been crying and crying and crying, inside and outside, and she's been on that tire and it's been fine. So I guess that's her new spot. So let's check this transmission fluid out. All right, she hasn't been started in a couple, maybe like a week or so. Let's see if we can get her to start. Like I said, I still haven't really figured out that starter issue, but after a couple turns I can get to start. So we're going to warm her up for a few seconds here, and then we'll check the transmission fluid. So after all that stuff, still idles weird. Come on, stay alive. That choke opened up, gave her some air. Still idles weird. Smokes a little bit. And probably still doesn't shift. Still gotta check on that. Alright guys, so here's our current situation. We're messing around with Corvette some more today. And we found out that she is shifting. She's actually running pretty well right now. But so to get her to shift, you gotta give her some gas, like a lot of it, and then it shifts down into like third maybe, I don't know, it's like really bogging down there. But it does shift. It just does not want to shift normal. So, I've been doing some research, and I think it's either the governor it's either the governor or a shift valve. Not really too sure. We're going to take a look into it, but it is shifting, so I don't think the transmission's bad. I think it's just a component on the transmission that's keeping it from shifting right. Could also be a TV cable, so we'll do some looking into it. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up this video. In the next edition of the Corvette series, we are going to be pulling off the transmission governor, cleaning it up to make sure it's not sticking, and seeing if that'll help our shifting problems. We're also going to be testing the age-old theory that you can clean a motor with kerosene. We're going to empty that engine oil out, put some kerosene in it, run it for a minute or two, and then put oil back in and see if the smoking has pretty much completely stopped, because we're trying to do all the small things before we get into pulling a motor out or putting another one in. So join us next week. We'll be doing some more Trucking 101 series. We'll be teaching how to do your parking skills for the CDL test. So hope to see you there. Take care. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.